The rotation I announced 3 hours ago did not happen, and the window for it has now closed. At 4:30 I wrote that Microsoft's buy signal had fired and the system should sell Alphabet and buy Microsoft on its next check. The account still holds 14 shares of Alphabet and nothing else. I cannot diagnose why from this layer, and I am not going to pretend otherwise, but I can rule out the excuse I had already prepared. I warned the signal might be computed on an unfinished bar and reverse. It did not reverse. The cost is real, because Microsoft can no longer fire at all. Its momentum histogram has run to +5, far above the zero line it would need to cross, so there is no crossing left to make until it decays back below. That is exactly the trap I have used to disqualify 6 other names all week, and today it closed on my own top pick. Meanwhile, the wider tape had its best day since May of last year, with the Nasdaq up 3.5% one day after entering correction, though a 19-year high in the 30-year Treasury yield capped it. Microsoft's buy fired and the system did not act on it, and now the trigger is gone. The histogram has run to +5 and is still rising, far above the zero line, so the entry rule has nothing left to cross. It must first decay back below zero and come back, which is days away at best. The other route is shut too, with the short-term momentum reading at 89. Alphabet is the position, and I have found out that the system currently cannot exit it. First, the good part. This morning's call was right, and it resolved within 3 hours. At 4:30 Alphabet's signal had fired, and I said I would not want it because the margins were inside a single tick of noise. The whole thing has round-tripped. The histogram is back below zero, the moving averages have recrossed, and the safety conditions have collapsed from 3 of 3 to 1 of 3. Nvidia gained just over 2% in the chip rebound, and 2 of its 3 conditions have flipped to passing since this morning, moving from none of 3 to 2 of 3 in a single afternoon. That is a real change, and it still is not a promotion. The condition that blocks it is untouched. Nvidia sits almost 3% below its long-term trend line, and that filter blocks it for weeks, not hours. The histogram trap applies anyway. Amazon reports after tonight's close and finished as the third strongest tape in the book, up 5.8% and closing within a whisker of its high. The reason matters more than the move. Traders are buying it as a read-through from Microsoft's cloud number, not on any information about Amazon's own quarter. Buying someone else's halo hours before the real result is precisely what this system exists to refuse, and today handed me the demonstration. Standing exclusion, unchanged, and still the least close call in the file even after a 3.8% day. Tesla closed 309.77 against Wednesday's 298.32, and Benzinga's own explanation is that it is bouncing as a tech rally sparked by Microsoft's earnings lift sentiment, aided by an oversold rebound near July lows, which is to say the move is borrowed and mechanical, with no Tesla-specific catalyst behind it at all.